I wanted to make this short video about our Blessed Mother, Mary of Nazareth, also known. And as I hold this copy of the famous icon of Our Lady of Kazan, a short catechesis, which I share because I love Our Lady so much. And since I've offended her by many sins, I want to make up for that. And so I ask you to share this video if you also love her and want to make up for your sins. What do we Catholics believe about Mary of Nazareth? We believe she was conceived immaculate, that is, she was not liable for the punishment due to Adam's sin, and that she was, from the first moment of her conception, filled with all possible grace. We don't mean filled in the sense of infinite, and we don't mean by filled more grace than Jesus, her son. But we mean an exceptional amount, as it says in the Greek, "Ke charitomene," as the Archangel Gabriel said to her, "Hail, she who has been filled full of grace." Our Lady was a true daughter of Aaron, according to her blood descent, and she was wed to Joseph at the time of the conception of Jesus, and he was a true son and heir of King David. We believe that Our Lady is therefore Mother of God, that is, Mother of the Eternal Word, the second person of the Most Blessed Trinity, the Son of God, who in his incarnation is known as Jesus Christ, and his name was revealed by the angel of God, Gabriel. When we say Our Lady is Mother of God, many people misunderstand. We don't mean Mother of the nature, we mean Mother of the person of the Eternal Son. Now, that means she is also Mother of the Messiah and the Virgin foretold by Isaiah, "A virgin shall conceive and bear a child." Or if you follow some of the more liberal translations of the Hebrew, which don't follow the reading of the Hebrew that existed in the 2nd century BC at Alexandria, then the reading of Isaiah is, "A young maiden shall conceive and bear a son, and call his name Emmanuel." And you can say Isaiah spoke of any other kind of young maiden or virgin, but only one had a son called Emmanuel. And Emmanuel's Hebrew is God is with us. And that refers to the incarnation. Therefore, Our Lady is co-redemptrix, because just as the eternal Son became man to save us on the cross, so she was his most perfect collaborator. And that doesn't mean that she is a god or anything, but it does mean that Christ's union with us in the incarnation and his union with us Christians in grace is so great that the power of his redemption can enable us to become redeemers of others. And we do that by preaching the gospel and live good life. But Our Lady did it in an extraordinary fashion, because with the dignity, the quasi-infinite dignity of her title, Mother of God, she merited all the grace Christ merited for us. And so Christ is the new Adam of the new remade humanity, and Our Lady is the new Eve. We believe that Our Lady was a virgin before, during, and after her birth to Jesus Christ. Don't use any pictures of Our Lady showing St. Joseph touching her, or she touching St. Joseph. They were both virgins, and St. Joseph never laid a hand on her. She was a virgin before because she did not know men. She was a virgin after because Christ did not cause her to lose any blood in his birth. And she was a virgin during because by a singular privilege, the Son of God made her his mother without her suffering anything. And this the faithful have always believed. It is one of the truths handed down in tradition. And we know this because a son would do the best thing for his mother. And since the faithful called her always a virgin, we know it meant also during her. And this truth was defined at the Council of the Lateran in the 7th century here in Rome. And if you are of the clergy of the Roman Church and you don't believe it, you are a heretic. It has not yet been defined for all of us in the Church, but probably soon will be. We also believe Our Lady was assumed body and soul into heaven, because death is a punishment for the sin of Adam, and she was never liable for that sin, and because she was so perfectly united to her Son, how could he go to heaven and leave her body on earth until the end of time? She who embraced him so many times, body and soul. And so we believe that she fell asleep at the end of her life and was raised body and soul to heaven to sit at the right hand of Christ in heaven. And this she has proven many times in her apparitions, most especially to St. Margaret Mary Alaqoque, whom she allowed to rest her head on her knees, showing that she was there physically, body and soul. We also see this at Fatima, where the tree bends at her presence. It's not just her soul, her body was also there. And thus we believe Our Lady is Queen of angels and men, that God, just as Christ said, all power in heaven and earth has been granted to me, as he ascended into heaven, so Our Lady, as Queen of heaven, is Queen of him who has all authority in heaven and earth. And so there is nothing and no grace that you cannot obtain from Our Lady, whether over the order of nature or over the order of men for your own health, the salvation of your family, work, or any other necessary and good thing. Our Lady can obtain it all, because it's all under her power to ask her Son for grace. So, love Our Lady, trust in her, believe what God has done for her, and follow her one command, her one counsel to all peoples, which he said at Cana, do whatever my son Jesus tells you. Pace bene.